Welcome back to Down the Sideline. We're live on Twitch. Ever so late. That's my fault. How's it going, guys?
What's up?
It's going good.
It's going good.
All right. Games from last week. How'd we do, Chef?
Games from last week. We had Utah USC, which USC won. Clemson Miami with Texas A&M and Ole Miss. For the week, Mike was 2-1. I was 1-2. Opie was 2-1, and Kevin was 1-2. I think the majority of everybody. Wait, Silver was the only one that went 3-0. Silver tearing it up this week. That sets us out. Opie with a commanding lead. He's 17-11 on the year. Everybody else is under 500.
Opie picking conservative all the time. Tired of it.
I'm only off by one. I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah, you're 8-9. Me and Mike are 13-15.
I just try to pick the winners. Hell, I picked Alabama this year. Okay.
Got way to go. Try hard.
And like same thing with our upsets, man. Kevin, yours was the only upset that was actually an upset.
Yeah, I figured it would be too.
That's close. My Duke Blue Devils went into triple overtime. I was hoping they wouldn't lose because I didn't want Brandon to yell at me.
How was our poll from last week?
Poll last week, it was 3 for Texas A&M, 2 for Ole Miss. So it was 60-40, and the 60 was wrong.
Me and Mike nailed that one, by the way.
Golly, A&M just didn't show up at all. Their offense was just terrible. Allen played like crap. I mean, and they didn't take him out till nearly the fourth quarter. They didn't take him out.
That'll roll us right into the comment. One of the comments, Tech Dynasty 29 ! And it's actually in his name. I just want to say that, but he said, I looked at, because he was talking about when we were talking about Texas Tech and this, and he said, I looked at the rankings, and Texas Tech is top 5 in total offense and ranked first in the country for explosive plays, ranked third in the country in passing. They are one of the most powerful offenses. Now, I commented on that, but I commented the short answer. The long answer that you don't really want to type out is, sure, yeah, given on paper, looking at all this stuff, yeah, they're one of the most powerful offenses, but they haven't won a game against anybody that has a winning record. So they have all these yards against teams with losing records. So when you put all that together, yeah, their numbers are going to look good. I mean, that's like the whole metaphor of like playing basketball with short people. Yeah, I can make all kinds of, I made 57 shots in a row, but yeah, I was 1 foot from the basket every time. Look at the whole picture, everybody, because it's kind of something that annoys me a little bit. I mean, it doesn't annoy me, but it's like, yeah, Texas Tech's not a powerhouse. Yeah, they might be ranked number 1 overall offense, but they're not a powerhouse.
Well, and then when they face a defense that's strong like Oklahoma's, I mean, they can't perform. I mean, that quarterback, he makes rash decisions. I actually watched that Oklahoma game a little bit. He just throws the ball willy-nilly. I mean, he's young. He makes rash decisions. I'm sure later on he'll be a lot better, but I mean, as of yet, yeah, he's not quite the talent that everyone's making him out to be.
Dogged, he says, in recent years, the Heisman race has been filled with many high-profile players. In your opinion, other than Fournette, why does it seem like there are a lot less star players that command a ton of media attention at this point in the season, unlike previous years?
I can tackle that one.
Go ahead.
I think it's because it's running backs we're talking about now, and running backs aren't that flashy. I mean, Fournette's a great running back, and he runs over guys. It looks awesome running over guys. But last year you had Mariota, and he was the offense for Oregon. The year before that, Jameis Winston. I mean, he was the man at Florida State the first year he was there. Before that, you had Johnny Manziel somewhere in there. Years ago, Tebow. All these high-profile guys are always quarterbacks. And this year, Trayvon Boykin. He's been the quarterback guy, but they're not playing on national TV every week, and they haven't played anybody. But I think that's why the race is between running backs.
Yeah. And I put on there, I wrote down, I said, I think it's because there's not really one like super dominant team that's like really, really looks good. Like, I don't see that. This is kind of it's not an off year, but it's kind of one of those weird years. Like, we don't have that powerful, Florida State team or that Oregon team or whatever, from whatever school. You know what I mean? When we got some teams that are really good, but not necessarily a seriously dominant one where you look at them and they're playing all these games and they're like, wow, that team really, really looks good, like day in, day out, You guys want to go into our predictions? Like, not the predictions, but the Week 9 playoff pick.
Yeah, let's do it. So my number 1 through 4, it's Clemson, Ohio State, LSU, and then Baylor. The 5 and 6 is Michigan State and Alabama.
All right, Opie. Well, then what's your picks? What you got?
Okay, I got number 1. I have Ohio State. I think, like I said last week, that them resetting the quarterbacks at this point in the season is going to kind of make everybody reconsider how good this team is based on how they played last week and this week more heavily than the rest of the season. I have Baylor number 2, although I'm not real sure with quarterback out. They got an extra week to prepare with the new one. I know you think, Mike, that they're going to be fine, but I don't know. It's just he's a true freshman, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I have LSU number 3. I have Clemson number 4. I have TCU number 5. And then I drew a line under number 5 because I think those are the 5 teams, in my opinion, that are at the top of this. And then I think Michigan State is number 6. But I think there's like a large gap between 5 and 6 because Michigan State is, like Mike's brought up several times in the Oregon game, if the quarterback could have thrown the ball to the wide open guys, then they would lose that game. They had to get extremely lucky against Michigan. So that's what I got. I got 5 and then one more to make it the 6.
All right, I have Ohio State at number 1. I'm just going to leave them there. They've been there the whole year, kind of like one of those deals. They've been playing good. They've been playing better with JT Barrett there. I think they're, of course, when you get to nitpicking at the number 1 spot, I think, yeah, of course, you can flip-flop, a couple of them teams around, 1, 2, and 3. But I like Ohio State at number 1. I have Clemson at number 2. Clemson's a really good team. They got like one of the best strength of schedules. Their strength of schedule is 22 compared to some of the other teams like Baylor, which is 107, or some of those other teams that are way down there ranked, like Oklahoma State. They're undefeated, but their strength of schedule is 75, or Iowa's 53. I got LSU at number 3. I got Michigan State at number 4. I have Alabama 5, Baylor 6. Probably TCU would be number 7. I don't like Baylor's strength of schedule. I mean, of course, this is very fluid. This is going to change, but Baylor TCU's got to play each other. Baylor hasn't played anybody all year. It's like week 9, so they've played 8 games of we don't care. I think TCU's the same way. TCU almost got beat a couple of times to teams that aren't very good. They give up ass tons of yards, ass tons of points to everybody. If it was up to me and I'm sitting in the committee, I want teams that have played people that have a strong strength of schedule. I want teams that play not excellent defense. You don't have to have the best defense in the world, but not defenses that are giving up 60 points a game. I mean, they're not giving up 60 points on average, but I just for something that I want to watch on TV, I want to avoid, Florida State, Oregon. That's not a fun playoff game to watch. So I don't want to see that. I don't want to see TCU go in there and play somebody that's got a strong defense and then get their butt handed to them. On a team like LSU or Michigan State that's going to hang on to the ball and run it, because if Boykin's standing over there on the sideline while his defense is out there with them little bitty linebackers they have, it's going to be hard for them to score 60 points. And there's some teams out there that can do that to them. I mean, I think TCU'd have a problem with Stanford, who's been playing really, really good as of late. I mean, really good. So, I think on down the list, I would have Stanford in there somewhere. I'd still have Utah in there. I think just for whatever reason, I don't know why they come out and played like shit. The quarterback played like shit. The defense still played pretty good against USC last week, but I still think Utah's a really good team.
So I have Ohio State number 1, like everybody else. I actually have Baylor number 2. And then I have LSU 3. And then I have TCU 4. And then Clemson 5. And then I have 6 as Michigan State.
All right, games for this week. Chef, what we got?
We got Georgia at Florida. That's our first game. I'm going to go with Georgia this week. I'm taking Georgia over Florida. Mainly, and the biggest reason is because I picked Georgia to win their division in the SEC. I picked Georgia, Alabama, and this is the big game between the two. Whoever wins this game, I'm calling going to win it. And I'm taking Georgia. I think they pull off the upset over Florida and get the win.
I'm picking them for the exact same reasons he just picked them, because I picked them to win, to play in the conference championship game.
I'm going with Florida. I think their defense is just a little bit better, and I think they're going to end up holding, what's his name, Chubb. I think they'll hold Chubb, and if they do that, I think they'll be able to win. So I'm picking Florida for this one.
Isn't Chubb out? Isn't he hurt?
Yeah, Chubb's out for the season.
Yeah, so yeah, Florida for sure.
Yeah, you guys are picking a no Chubb Georgia team to beat Florida at home?
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Did you not hear what the reasons why we picked them? We picked them to win in the play in the conference championship.
Yeah, no. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick Florida. It's fine. We'll just move on to the next one. Wow. Okay.
All right, Notre Dame and Temple.
I'm going with Notre Dame on this one. Notre Dame has not done bad. Kaiser, freshman quarterback, has done excellent this year. I think they're going to continue on doing well, and so I'm picking Notre Dame on this one.
Well, I'm looking at Temple's schedule, and I don't recognize any of these teams on the schedule, but I am going to go ahead and take Temple in this one. I agree with Mike. I don't think Notre Dame's as good as their record shows. I think they've kind of gotten lucky, but I'm going to take Temple. They're going to continue their undefeated season. Plus, Mike was making fun of me for picking the homers on all the picks.
My pick for this, I'm picking Notre Dame. I mean, Temple, they really haven't played anybody. I mean, they got Charleston, they got UMass, they got University of Central Florida, which hasn't won a game all season, and then ECU. And not that I think Notre Dame's a great team, but it's Notre Dame.
I'm going to take Notre Dame as well. Temple has beat a couple of ACC teams on their way, or a ACC team. They beat Cincinnati. They beat Penn State. So they got a couple of good notches on their belt, but they're not going to beat a Notre Dame team this week.
What's the next game?
Stanford at Washington State.
I'll go first. Washington State, what they are, they got, what's their coach? I forgot that guy's name. He come from Texas Tech.
Leach.
Yeah. So basically what Washington State is a really shitty version of Baylor and Texas Tech. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Stanford on this one.
Well, I'm taking Stanford also, but because I think Stanford's running the table.
I'm picking Stanford. I think it's just going to be an offensive showdown, and I think Stanford's just a little bit better on offense than Washington State. So, yeah, I'm going with everybody else and picking Stanford for this one.
I'm going to take Stanford. Freaking Washington State lost to Portland State to start the season. I don't know who Portland State is, but they beat Washington State. All right, on to the game of the week, Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. I'm going to take Oklahoma State. They're kind of the silent underdog this year. They're the Big 12 team nobody's talking about. I mean, Texas is getting talked about, and they're Texas this year. So Oklahoma State, nobody's really mentioned them about anything, and they're ranked number 12. So they're going to be the surprise, even though they're playing in Lubbock. I think Oklahoma State's going to get the win.
Yeah, I agree. Oklahoma State's been playing pretty good. I haven't had a chance to watch them much, but I don't know. I just can't get behind Texas Tech because they don't really have a defense. I find it hard that people can't recruit stuff and recruit better players for defense and have a better defense and not just air raid the ball out all the time. It's a weird concept in my mind.
I think that Oklahoma State also wins. I think it's going to be closer than – I don't know what the spread is on this game. But I think this stays a little bit closer since they're playing in Texas Tech. Probably the Oklahoma State wins by 7-10 somewhere. But I think that they win.
I'm going with Tech.
Hello! Close the show down. What the hell's going on?
Going with Tech, man. Tech on Halloween is a crazy venue. That's all I got to say. I got a strange feeling that Tech's going to upset OK State this week.
All right, our poll for this week is going to be Oklahoma State at Texas Tech. Link will be in the description. Go click on it. Vote for who you think's going to win. So tortillas or not tortillas?
Wait, what?
Texas Tech, when they have an upset or they win, they throw tortillas on the field. All right, we're going to conclude Down the Sideline. I appreciate everybody joining me.
Us.
That'll be you guys.
Oh, it's been fun. Thanks, guy.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. A lot of good games coming up. This week's kind of an off week, but be back to action talking about some good matchups and weeks to come.
That's gonna be it for this Down the Sideline. Make sure you guys come back, hang out with us next week. If you want to know when we're going live, follow myself, Little Chef, or the Italian on Twitter. We tweet it out whenever we have an idea, and hopefully we start around that time. We don't have a set schedule because of work and stuff, so just make sure you follow us on Twitter, and we'll let you know when we're going.
Yes, sir. It's been fun. We'll see you guys later.
Deuces.
Later, guys.
Toodles.